In the first question, we're asked to use the information provided to us that these two triangles are similar to solve for all the unknown sides in the second triangle. So side DE, which is not marked, and we'll put a Y on there, and side DF, which is marked as an X. Before I actually just go through and assume that these two triangles are similar, even though it's stated, I want to show that these two triangles are similar. And for two triangles to be similar, all three angles in each of the triangles have to be equal. In the first triangle, we know that angle A is marked with a star, and in the second triangle, angle F is marked with a star. So those two angles are equal. In the first triangle, angle B is marked with a square, and in the second triangle, angle E is marked with a square. So those two angles are equal. But what about angle D and angle C? Well, in the first triangle, I know that all the angles inside the triangles have to add up to 180. So that means that C has to be 180 minus whatever star is, minus whatever the square is. And in the second triangle, again, because all of these angles have to add up to 180, I know that angle D has to be 180 minus whatever star is, minus whatever the square is. So angle C is equal to angle D. Now that we have shown that all the angles in the first triangle are equal to all the angles in the second triangle, we can state that triangle ABC is similar to the second triangle, but we have to name it in the correct order. So we started off with angle A, which is the star. So in the second triangle, we have to start off with F, which is also the star. Then we went to B, which is the square. And in the second triangle, we have to state E as the second letter. And then finally D. So we can now state that triangle ABC is similar to triangle FED. The corresponding sides are going to be AB and FE, BC and ED, and finally CA and DF. And we can use these corresponding sides to write our proportional statement. Because we know the measure of both AB and FE, I'm going to start with those two. AB is 40 centimeters and FE is 24. And let's first try to figure out what Y is. So we'll use these corresponding sides. So on the bottom is DE, we'll write down Y, and the corresponding side is BC, and BC is 45. So there's our first proportional statement. And our second proportional statement, again, we're going to start with AB over FE, and this time we want to figure out what X is, which is DF, and these are the corresponding sides we're going to use this time. So on the bottom we have X, which is DF, and the corresponding side to DF is CA, and we know that CA is 36. Let's solve for X first. So what we're going to do first is cross multiply, and we're going to get 40x equals 36 times 24. 36 times 24 is 864, so let's write that down. So we end up getting 40x equals 864. And now all we have to do is divide both sides by 40 to solve for x. And when we do that, we'll get x equals 21.6. Now let's solve for y. Again, we're going to cross multiply, and we get 40y equals 45 times 24. 45 times 24 is 1080. Divide both sides by 40 to get y by itself, and we end up getting y equals 27. Now we've used similar triangles in our proportional statements to solve for the unknown sides in triangle FED.